Alright guys, so the new mini update has just arrived to Asphalt Legends Unite, and as it seems like some things didn't arrive as they were announced by Gameloft, and by those things of course I'm talking about the two new cards, whose stats seems to be different than the ones we could see at the patch notes, making this the second time in a row that Gameloft makes the same mistake, since let's remember that on the previous main update patch notes, they showcased the Mercedes Vision 111 with a few stats that weren't the ones we ended up getting inside of the game, but anyways, let's have a look. Okay, but first of all, I would like to tell you guys that this Friday I will be doing a live stream spending some of my tokens in order to finally gold max the new Mercedes-Benz Vision 111, whose event is close to completion by my side. I will be dumping tokens just like I did with the Xinger 21C, and of course I will be doing some multiplayer races with other cars you like, so make sure to turn on the notifications clicking the link available from this video first comment, and I really hope to see you all there. Alright, so back on track, once we got the new mini update, this is basically early this week, we could see that the Pininfarina Batista Nino Farina edition wasn't placed near the top A-class cars as it was supposed to be, considering how its gold max rank was depicted as 4550 on the mini update patch notes. Instead, it's right next to cars like the Aston Martin DBS Zagato, so I can finally tell you guys that the Batista Nino Farina edition will have a rank of around 4200 points at best. The Rimac Nevera Time Attack, however, doesn't seem to have the exact same stats if it's true that the rank placement near the top of the S-Class indicates that it's not supposed to move anytime soon, so at least it will remain closer to the display stats within the patch notes. This time it's quite obvious that rather than Gameloft initially giving a car 2 OP stats like it happened with the Vision 111, they just copied and pasted the original Pininfarina Batista stats right into the Pininfarina Batista Nino Farina edition, despite it wasn't intended to be released with those stats. Either way, my concerns are less about the final stats those filler cars will have and more about how they are supposed to arrive to the game, because as you guys already know, if these cars arrive exclusively through real money bundles, well, the Rimac Nevera Time Attack will arrive through the Legends Pass, but you know, many people will get the Legends Pass for the benefits anyway. It will mean that the upcoming Black Friday season will be something similar to the Raging Bull season, where the only way of obtaining the Lamborghini Countach 2022 was by spending real money in order to progress through the Legends Pass. However, I really hope that doesn't end up being the case and that Gameloft will resort to other ways of gatekeeping these cars, like juicy car requirements or something like that, rather than just adding more paywalls to a game that is already quite expensive on its own. The good thing I have to tell you guys, the truth, however, is related to multiplayer, because despite matchmaking changes weren't expected to arrive until the next multiplayer season, apparently the devs have been trying some minor changes within the current World Series multiplayer season. Now it's a bit less likely to face Legends League players if you are in Platinum League, which is absolutely great, yet it's true that in some races you will still face some rivals using Legends League cars, which is still quite annoying considering how they are still maintaining the same punctuation system, where if you end first, the maximum rating you will earn will be 20 points, and if you end last, you will lose 20 points. This has proven to be extremely unfair and just unnecessary, since the previous system was working just perfectly, and now if I face a Legends League player with my Platinum cards, I will barely have a chance unless I quit, where I will lose 18 points or something like that, but not straight up minus 20. Anyways, the second lie I mentioned on the title is that it doesn't seem like they are cracking down on cheaters anymore. The other day I was trying to reach Legends League, and in one of the races I found a suspiciously fast guy using a Bugatti Veyron, a car that, as some of you might know, it's known for having a bad nitro efficiency among other poor stats. Well, look at the beginning of this race and you will see that how by drifting a bit at the beginning, right after using perfect nitro, this hacker shockwaves almost immediately, lasting with the boost for a suspiciously long time frame. This was the cheapest way of trying to hide an infinite nitro hack I have ever seen since Asphalt Legends Unite was introduced, and taking advantage of the fact that I know that some people at Gameloft might see this video, here you have it. The ID of this cheater in massively sized charters, so you can prove me wrong and show that you will take some action against those players who are just running the experience for everyone else. Because you see, Gameloft always like to flex how they try to make the game balance and that stuff, yet it's certainly surprising how blatantly they ignore some of the clearest report of cheaters reading other legit user races, especially on multiplayer. I will be honest guys, it's not the first time I have seen reports from drivers within this club, Felines, blatantly cheating on multiplayer, so I do really think that at this point Gameloft should just ban all of them altogether in order to send a significant message. Only that way other potential cheaters will understand what awaits them if they keep going with their abuses. Of course I know that I should calm down guys, but this is absolutely frustrating. And sure, I can understand up to a point that I lose races because of my skill issue as well as the rating system, but I can assure you all guys that losing races because of a cheater who just wants easy points is something I'm not willing to tolerate, and that's why I have to be vocal about it. Today it's me, but tomorrow it will be some of you guys. Alright, so in the general context we have the patch notes containing stats that didn't correlate with the final game stat for 2 updates in a row, which I hope they will put a bit more effort to fix in the future, and we also have the resurgence of blatant cheaters of the lowest level possible, as it was the case of this club I just mentioned, Felines. So of course that leads me to the conclusion that Gameloft isn't cracking down on hackers as much as they did, and at last but not least we have the truth. This is the small adjustments they are trying to implement within the game multiplayer, which I do hope they keep doing. Let's get real. This was a bit bitter beginning for this mini update, but my expectations weren't incredibly high anyways, so now it's your turn guys. Which are your thoughts regarding the new Pininfarina, Batista, Nino Farina edition change, stats and rank? Are you planning to get the Black Friday Season Legends Pass in order to try and get the key for the Rimac Nevera Time Attack? And at last but not least, would you like me to follow up if Gameloft bans the cheater I have exposed today? Let me know in the comment section, make sure to drop your like, and I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt content. Goodbye guys.